Welcome back, folks. Rudy, Alpha Investments, February of 2022. And we are auditing a Magic the Gathering collection here in the good old, actually not hot Florida. It's actually not hot. I'm sure that will change by the time the video goes live. We'll be back to 430 degrees. So, we got a very interesting old school collection to go through together, everybody. We're going to talk about the state of everything as we hit the second month of 2022. I know, right? So February here, and let's talk about what we see going on. First, we have this authentic, original, one-of-one Alpha Black Lotus, but somebody hit it with the Time Machine Shrink Ray, and it accidentally got big. Some nice water damage. Did somebody erase that? I was like, no actual value in this, but that just was funny. Okay. Before we get into the binder here, I know everyone's busy looking at the main card on this page, which is this absolutely beautiful gem mint invisibility and this high-end twiddle. I know this is the focal point of this video right now. I only purchased this collection because I absolutely am obsessed with twiddle. And as I twiddle myself privately when no one's around, this was the card I was looking for. Nah, I'm just screwing with you. Let's get into this, shall we? So, another invisibility. You know what's funny? Invisibility was a card that I never even got to see or knew existed until like 1996 was the first time I saw one when I was young, because all I knew was revised in 4th edition, and I never saw the card until like a couple years later. I was like, what is this card? I thought it was like some super rare chase card. It was crazy. All right, so first, obviously, common card, ABU, Dark Rituals. There's a huge movement going on right now between a lot of collectors and investors, and I've even had Patron messages and comments in other videos, and some other friends who've commented to me regarding common and uncommons from pretty much everything from Alpha Beta Unlimited to even Revised, even commons in Antiquities, Legends. There's just a huge, in the dark, don't let me worry about the dark, I'll never hear the end of it. So, Dark Ritual, iconic piece of history. Now we got some of these other cards, like when you have Furnace of, this is one of those, I don't want to call it a meme card, but these are those kind of reserve list Tempest era cards that are a thing now. It's strange to me. All right, and of course, Power Artifact, the card everybody made fun of years ago because they never thought it would ever go above the $100, $150 a piece. And then all of a sudden now it's like a $300, $400 card. I know, right? Hidden Path, again, cards from the dark, very, very hot right now. Gorgeous detailed artwork, beautiful old school card. As far as, is it a decent card? I mean, look at that mana cost just to give everything Forest Walk. I mean, I don't even think any walks. Do they Forest Walk, Mountain Walk? They don't even do the walk thing anymore. That's not even a thing anymore. Okay, this is something I think we should talk about for a second. So these Alliance cards, these original black borders, some people call them pain lands, some people call whatever wording you want to use. These things were a thing a long time ago, and a lot of people speculated this and that, and then when they realized how big the print run for Ice Age was, they never got traction. Obviously, the Waste, the Spring, these cards have been reprinted many times in many forms and many variants, but the original Ice Age ones do have a very unique place. There's a lot of people that are very interested just in those original Ice Age lands. There's groups, no joke. I've received private messages, or I'm sorry, emails with pictures and private things showing people who buy out and collect weird cards like that. Again, alliances, we've already talked about a lot on this channel, about how underdone alliances are. Kamigawa, obviously a popular thing because of the Kamigawa stuff. Lotus petals, the original Tempest Lotus petals are always going to be a thing, even though they're not reserved lists, and you know that. But the original Lotus petals from Tempest are very special. And reminder though, those are common cards. Same thing, Ancient Tomb. It's been, you know, expedition type reprints, lottery type reprint cards. Original versions are still extremely sought after for Tempest. Same thing, Reflecting Pools. Okay, now Stronghold. Now we start getting to some of those more spicy cards. Very powerful card. I don't know what today's exact price is off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up on the actual sold listings and buy lists, but I would assume this is one of the cards that continues to go up. Same thing with Reoccurring Nightmare. These are iconic pieces of history, folks. It's 2022, okay? These cards, what year is it, 98, 99, 98. This card, these are iconic pieces of cardboard hit. This is 24 years old, folks. They are going to be expensive. They're supposed to be. All right, revised stuff. You got BOPs, you got doppelgangers, you got uncommon tutors. Revised was a real hot thing in 2020, 2021. Revised is very calm now. It's not the flavor of the month anymore. People aren't seeking out Revised like they were. People want like common cards from I don't know, Four Horsemen sets and Alpha Beta. People want the dark alliances. Like people, it's shifted. Revives is not like the hot in thing right now. It's kind of interesting. Mirage is a funky thing. Obviously, I don't have a huge position in Mirage singles because I went all in on Mirage sealed product years ago. But Mirage is a funky product, folks. Tons of reserve list cards, tons of funky cards, tons of funky lore. Of course, LED, Old Lion's Eye is what's known. Tutors, again, not reserve list tutors, very popular though, original printings. Tombs, Anvil. Now you can do the same thing with Visions. Very funky sets, very funky cards. A lot of reserve list cards. People really seek those things out. We got a completely destroyed, bent multiple crease Visions. That's not worth anything. Okie dokie. City of Solitude, same thing. Now you get into the Urzas, the Sense, the Cinders where you reveal cards, deals X damage thing. If you bring a red deck and you reveal 3 cards, pop for 3 damage. It's not an instant speed though. It is common. They did color code the logos in Mirage. There was no color coding in Mirage and Tempest. I'm sorry. There's no color coding. They color coded Urzas, but they didn't color code Mirage, Weatherlight, or Tempest or anything. All right. Anyways, Weatherlight. Rudy's favorite set. You got some of these weird Weatherlight cards. Tons of reserve lists in Weatherlight. The market, again, is very into that kind of stuff now. Lotus Veil speaks for itself. This is a funky one. Now, this was something, when I was flipping through right before the filming here, this is a really light print. I almost want to say misprint, light print, 4th edition, 1995, right? This is a 4th edition, 95? Yeah, 95, 4th edition, funky card. We can get some printing dots and printing errors on the back there. Really funky light print error card. Don't know if there's any real financial value, but I think it's kind of cool. All right, now we get into some other interesting topics. Now we're into the Antiquities Commons, very known thing, the Orcish dudes. You got Atogs. Now you got Legends common cards, Pyro. You got the infamous Chain Lightning, one of the best commons and legends ever. Infernos for the dark, Generals, Caves, Brothers, Goblins. A ton of cards, just some of the dark there, nice little stack. We got draft. I had a patron a long time ago, a couple years back, who was obsessed with this card. I don't know if he's still a patron or maybe he'll send me a message with this video. He was obsessed with buying this card out. He swore up and down this card was like a $20, $30, $50 plus card one day. I don't know if he ever kept them. Great. I don't know whatever happened to that. Anyways, it's a common card. Just be careful. There's a lot out there. Okay. We got another creased, completely damaged card there. We're going to put him aside. Don't really care about that. All right. More common, very heavy, very well-loved played cards. A ton of commons and things from like the dark, some sharks, some Rudy's Got Worms, Ghost Ship, Bombardment, and we jump over to the binder now. All right. So I think the thing that kicks me, always gets the old funny bone, is as funny as time goes on, how we go from, like you can feel the market swings, how it's like everybody's obsessed with Revised. And we're talking about Revised. Then the market swings to like Four Horsemen. Then the market swings. And now, oh my God, the amount of people talking about the flipping dark. The dark. And the amount of people obsessed with alliances. Oh my goodness. It's so fascinating how that stuff changes, folks. All right, so let's get to our heavy hitter here. Our extremely well-loved Beta Mox Ruby. Holy smokes, through the washer and dryer. We got binder dings and creases. Extremely, it's nice, but man, she is, holy cow, she is heavy played if I've ever seen heavy played. I almost even go into the category as just straight up damage due to the multiple actual crease damage marks. So we've got an extremely well-loved Beta Mox. Put him aside. Also, we got some extremely well-loved over here. The Beta Icy, obviously not my favorite. I can't stand the overly dark saturated compared to the Alpha correct color saturation in the Unlimited. No, the Unlimited's the dark one too. But still, it's the infamous original artwork. Not reserve list, but very iconic. All right. Other comments before I flip the page over. Some of these iconic cards, these Earthbinds, Fireballs, Disenchants, Dark Rituals, when you get to the Alpha Beta, these symbolic cards are becoming a very big chase thing that people are obsessed with because they're just very sought after. Even an Alpha Common at like, what was it, like 10,000 copies? 11, 10, 5, or 11? I mean, even if half of those still exist, a couple thousand copies for the whole world is nothing, folks. The supply is so low. Like, I can't emphasize enough how low those numbers are. So let's take a look at this page, folks. We got Desert, again, Metamorphs, Unstables, we got the old, so these are commons from Arabian Nights. Okay. Sorcerer's Queen, jeweled. So jeweled is actually reserve list. Sorcerer's Queen is not. She's been reprinted many times. It was real big in 4th edition. Copper Tablets was cut off in Unlimited, not in Revised. Same thing with the old False Orders and the old Land over here. On this page over here, we got another nice little Papa Rooney of the old Power Artifact. Again, this I was buying Power Artifact when I was on YouTube for 2016 through 2018. I was buying nonstop until I got like a couple hundred copies of Power Artifacts for like $50 to $75 a card. And like retail was like 90 to 100 from near mint, and play was like 70. This thing never moved for years. And I remember saying, how is that card still that cheap? I remember, I don't know how many collection videos we had talked about that, everybody. And then even when you move to some of these other ones, there's another restoration, by the way. Again, the other Rudy card that I was obsessed with, Gate to Phyrexia. You know, the Rudy loves the Archaeologist. The Gate to Phyrexia was my other one. I was buying Gates to Phyrexia. Even when I was in Vegas in 2017, 2018, I was buying these cards from other stores and vendors, just straight up buying them. And they were like $20 to $25 a card. And to this day, I don't understand why that card is so cheap. I love that card. It's just a weird personal thing. And I know people are like, well, Rudy, it's not a 4 of. Oh, Rudy, it's not that good. Oh, Rudy, it's too slower. Whatever. I love the card. All right. What we got here? Okay, there's our other one, the old Transmute Rooney, how to transmute something cheap into something more expensive in the artifact world. The Druids, that's always a hot topic card. The Avengers never targeted as much, but the Druid is always targeted. People are obsessed with the Dr. Citadel. It is Citadel. It's not Citadel. It's Citadel. You know, the Druid, people love that card, man. People always, I've heard so many people say, Rudy, why is that card not $200, $300 or $100? And I tell them, well, I think, pretty sure it's a common or a more easy to get uncommon, maybe a U3 or something, or common. I was like, pretty sure the Druid's not hard to get. There's a lot more supply, and simply put, the supply has just held it down, and people don't seem obsessed. But that's always been a topic. And this always gets people too. The Martyr and the Damping. I believe these two are actually reserve list cards, but they're like one of those third tier, no one cares about reserve list cards. And I had a message back in December, in the 4th quarter of 2021, of some people talking about how they were targeting these three particular white cards. And it was the Field, the Martyr, and it was the Archaeologist, the 3 Antiquity reserve list white cards. And they were asking my opinion about it. And I said, look, I'm still not a fan of these two. I have a bunch of them just from collection buying. But the Archaeologist, because I guess they had started looking into it after I had mentioned the Archaeologist, and it was one of Rudy's all-time favorite cards, because the Archaeologist has been like a $100 card for like ever. I've been buying stupid Archaeologists for the last like 8 years at like I started buying Archaeologists at 20 bucks. Then I started buying them at 40. Then I was buying Archaeologists 60 to 80. And then I remember buying Archaeologists between $60 to $100, bouncing around depending on the swing of the market, nonstop for years. And I think the Archaeologist has finally moved up. That's probably because Rudy's just been buying it and pumping it his whole life. But it's just one of my personal cards. Okay, moving on. This page, I'm not a fan of really any of these cards. I know the Altar is a thing now because of the whole sacking creatures and generating mana thing and, you know, graveyard and shenanigans. Again, the Armageddon clocks, the Dragon engines, these things, I'm not a big fan of these. I know the Pixies and people buy these in set collecting. Still nothing on that page excites me. Now, Sushi Man, I've loved Sushi. Sushi was always one of the cards I always thought is still underappreciated. Mightstone, Weak Stones, still not a big fan. I know they're a big thing for set collecting. All right, not much to say here. Strip Mines, I mean, yeah, is it one of each art? I think we got all 4 artworks, right? Yeah, Little Tower, No Horizon. Let's see. Yeah, I think we got them all, right? Those are the different. Okay, so Tetravis, obviously, always a power. How that card is, if that card was reserve list, it'd probably be $1,000, man. Tron lands are always Tron lands. How Tron lands are not like a $20 bill or $50 a piece, I don't understand. Okay. Power Leech. There's a nice little guy hiding over here. Power Leech, just like the Druid. There's always people out there, reserve lists, that always talk about how those particular cards do not get enough love and they need to be adjusted higher in price. And I always say, you know, careful what you wish for, because time has a funny way of readjusting prices as you move forward. They can stay cheap for a long time, you forget about it, you don't care, then all of a sudden you wake up one day and Power Leech is no longer a $5 card. Seriously. All right, looks like we're moving into Legends here. Maybe this was a partial set collecting at the beginning because we got all the black cards, looks alphabetized, which means the first card should be like Abomination, unless this little rule card's in front of Abomination. No. Blight, Chains, Mummy, Darkness. Okay. So obviously chains, the old chains, the 4 Black Horsemen continue to move up and become a powerhouse in Legends. Pretty nice chains, actually. Not gradable perfect, but actually this is a pretty nice... Yeah, I wouldn't grade it. You got chips and dings. You got a nice light plate there. Is that a chip? Very nice there. That's a really nice chains. So, you know, looking at these things, I remember saying for years that the 4 Black Horsemen should be at least $1,000 a piece. And this was when chains, Nether Void, and the Abyss were all $400 or $500. And of course, All Hallows Eve was $100. And I didn't understand why they were so cheap. And I didn't understand why I was the only one that felt they were underpriced. I remember that for years. So anyways, careful what I wish for. Apparently all those cards are like $1,000 to $2,000 a piece now. Go figure. Walking Dead. It's been kind of a meme and people have been buying a lot of that. But regenerates is not really a thing anymore, but it's because it's so OP and people regenerates a pain in the ass. All right, so what do we got here? Legend cards. Anything interesting on this page? Looks like more of a set collecting, bunch of common, uncommons, glyphs, falcons. We got the old creepy apes, the horny little guys. Wolverine pack. Nothing too dramatic. Turtles over here. What do we got on this page here? Anything interesting? All right, we got to have Gravity Spear catches my eye. And nice Chain Lightning in the corner. We got the old Mana Guy reserve list. Not a mainstream reserve list card, but it's an important one for set collectors. Cheap cards, Pyro, Bull. Immolation is one that always surprises me. I never really realized the value of that card until the last few years. What do we got over here? White cards, Equinox action. There's some people that collect the obsessive, compulsive collect that card for the artwork. Same thing with this young lady here. I know someone who collects and obsessed because of the artwork on her. We get the old Divine Realms of Preservation because the crazy name and the angel wings. Nothing crazy over here. You got Wall of Light. That's kind of a colorful one there. Nothing too dramatic on this page. Okay, we got some action going on here. So the gold cards and Legends, obviously there's a million of them. You got the old Chris Rush versions. He signed a lot of those back in the day. Obviously the pirate theme was a big thing. The Joe Hen, the Gabriel, these aren't really the major sought after ones. These are the vanilla gold ones with no abilities, so those aren't really rare chase cards or anything like that. Moving over here, looks like, is this a complete set of the dark or a partial set of the dark? We might have a complete set of the dark, or I'll have to audit this one here after the video. Yeah, this feels like maybe a complete set. So we got what? Eater of the Dead, Frankenstein, or we have a complete set? Let me see here. Season, Ragman. Yeah, I think we might actually. Is this a full set? Yeah, Psychic. I'm looking at the key cards. Yeah, Lurker. Okay, we got the old, I think we do have all the key cards. Of course, Snail, Ball Lightning, Blood Moon. I'm looking for the key cards here. Yeah, Goblin Wizard over there. The Cleansing, okay. And let's see here, Preacher hiding down there. Artifacts, you got your books. You got your Fountain, you got your Fellow War. Yep, there's the Stone Calendar. Wait, no lands? The 3-4 lands? Okay, oh yeah, I guess maybe it is complete. Okay, we do have a complete set over here. Very cool. Okay, we got some book promos over here. The world famous book promos. Okay, that's funny. There are people out there that put a lot of money speculating into what these infamous, especially the sewers. I remember this one. The only promo that really ever did anything was the old Mana Crypt, but these book promos. Does anybody remember this? With the funky font and the texting with the weird logo? These things, that was the thing, man. There were people that were always speculating on book promos and all that a long time ago. So I hope you enjoy this first part of this video here. I'm going to do another video because there's one more binder that I really want to go over, mostly because it's a revised set. And I want to have a longer conversation on revised based on a lot of questions I've been asked. So I want to at least share this collection. The biggest thing I think that makes this collection exciting is the diversity of the different sets of Four Horsemen to the ABU. And of course, we had ourselves the nice Beta Mox. And of course, the Beta Icy. And of course, I like my little light print pirate ship. May not be really worth much, but 4th edition card really worth a quarter. But it's kind of unique. I like unique, fun things like that. That'll be a nice little addition to the weird Rudy land. So that's all I have today. As always, folks, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something about my point of view looking at these cards, conditions, and everything. Obviously, nothing gem mint today, nothing gradable or special like that. Just a bunch of played cards from it looks like a really cool players collection from the past. Friendly reminder. Everything you see in this video is not for sale, but I appreciate the contacts as always. If you are looking to sell an old Magic collection, AlphainvestmentsLLC at gmail.com. And again, on average, usually it comes out to be like 60, 65% of eBay sold pricing. And of course, I cover your shipping within the US is usually what it averages out. Sometimes it goes to 70, 75, sometimes it's 55, but usually it still averages the same 60, 65%. And yeah, that's where we are with the world today. And I hope you guys learned something. Other than that, have a great day, everybody.